I wasn't prepared for like the pace of what you guys do over there.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming.
This is the secret gas station, Jim?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever called you Jim the secret gas station, Jim?
Yeah.
It's intimidating.
It is, yeah. That's why when I was like, oh, they did the yoga thing, but they didn't want to come, but I don't blame them because
Yeah, I'll die in that room.
it's
You got
easy
insurance?
not easy, but you can take yoga as like someone that doesn't do anything. But
Right.
if you take that as someone that doesn't do anything, it's
No, we're gonna come. This guy,
I can't do that.
He signed, what do
You
you
see
mean?
the pictures
He
on
signed up
Instagram?
he signed up to fight me. He wants to fight me in October.
Yeah.
So we're
like
built.
MMA.
No. What are we talking about? Boxing.
Not MMA. That's illegal.
I mean, it's that fight.
Can't use any other of his extremities, just his hands.
Did you see his reaction? Did you see
Yeah.
that?
I think I might have to cancel. White Rabbit.
Oh, I see. I saw that at
You drink kratom?
I have a couple times
It's not that great.
through or kava. I don't know.
All right, yeah.
I think maybe the
He-
Ka-
he's
I
the-
can't
he's the
remember which I
mastermind,
liked.
But Kava's the tea, and this is the shit.
This comes in a pill usually, or
Oh, I don't know. Does Kava come in a pill? I mean,
The kratom?
come in a pill?
yeah, I think I had tried both of them. I think I can't remember which I liked better. I think the kava.
You tried it as a pill?
I tried it as a drink.
As a
I
drink,
think. I think it was
right?
a
Yeah, yeah.
shot, maybe the kratom that I tried.
Yeah.
They also have some that like where they mix together. Like
Yeah.
there's a blue bottle. It's called Feel Free. They sell it at 7-Eleven now. And that's kava and kratom mixed together. But it's like two different things. Like kratom's supposed to like lift you up a little, and kava's supposed to like
Yeah,
calm
it was
you
definitely a
down.
little sedative. Yeah.
Do you,
Boomstick, John?
Yeah, I got everything.
do you think kratom is going to be like the new drinks with the CBDs in it?
Could be. This one, there's a bodybuilder. The guy's name's Larry Wheels, I think
Yeah.
his name is. This is his brand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this shit is everywhere.
He's
now.
popular. I saw that in a store the other day. I didn't know what it was though.
Hummus Fit, I think.
Yes, that's
sells
where I saw it,
Yeah. And then like all the smoke
Interesting.
shops and stuff.
The hell is Hummus Fit?
Like a meal prep
Like meal.
place.
Oh, Redefine's a little better.
Those guys, the Redefine guys, man, they're fucking killing.
Yeah, I know.
They're
They're
building
everywhere now. Just
like-
opened like a restaurant in
Yeah.
Lake Grove or
Yep.
Ronkonkoma over there.
Looking for like warehouse managers and stuff?
They fucking hiring.
Is that
They're
the
young.
Is that the next thing? I'm young
How old are you?
at heart.
31.
31. I would say they're not even 30, maybe.
That
Rookie
guy's right
kids.
around my age.
Yeah.
That guy Tony Turk, whatever they call him.
Fuck. He's got a nickname that's tough to get in. If he's got a nickname already, it's tough
He's
to
got
get in
one.
that
I don't
place.
know exactly what it is.
You got to know it.
They were really young though when they. I mean, I think they've been doing it for like 5 years now. Yeah, I think they were like 24, 25 when they started.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Fucking.
Good for them.
What do they got? The what's the Tesla truck thing?
Cybertruck.
Like
have
wrapped in
wrapped-
the
I haven't seen
Redefine
it.
thing. Yeah.
I actually went up to a dude who was driving a Cybertruck because I had a question. Because
What kind of question?
I've seen them all over the place, right? There's a couple of people have them here and there, and I find it weird in like a residential area, like a mom or a dad has a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
So I just went up to him and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I like the truck that you got here."
Did you
but
say that because like you were trying to be nice?
well,
and do
yeah,
like it?
I don't want to just like come at it. I don't really like it, but it looks kind of cool. It's different, and I was just like, "Can I just ask you one question?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I'm like, "Is that all trunk space?" And he's like, "Yeah, 6 feet." I was like, "What?"
In the back?
In the back. It's all trunk space.
Interesting.
6 feet. What do you need 6
Put a body
feet
back
for?
there.
Bodies. That's it. That's all anybody will say.
And it's like slanted, right?
Yeah.
It's like
You
old
could
school.
like
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
compact probably 12 bodies
Yeah.
in that thing.
You were trying to fucking
I mean,
sign
I'm
it up?
figuring out you're doing math.
Dropping shit off at Gilgo?
A
Something?
little bit. That's where the idea came from. How can I get all those bodies at once instead of going every 2 years?
What ended up happening with that guy?
There's a new documentary on Netflix that I just started. So it's a lot about the cop too, or I don't know if he's a sheriff or something like that.
Which was maybe crooked? Like,
Yeah. So like 4 could supposedly definitely go to this guy, but it starts out with the Gilbert thing with her like running away, and
right.
it's bizarre. I haven't finished it yet, but I was just saying it the other day. His case has got to be
I
coming
remember
up
like
soon.
it was like a year ago or
Yeah.
plus, right? That it came back out.
His cases definitely have to be coming up.
I think they just started it. Somebody was telling me.
But it's just like you said about that about Mingione. they already have a documentary out.
Yeah. I watched the first one. It was kind of, I wasn't into it.
Which one?
The Gilgo one.
Oh, yeah. She says a really bad line in the very beginning.
That reporter lady?
Yeah. So it's a reporter who like started to dig in.
Right.
She's like, I'm from Long Island, and this is a place where you never thought something like this could happen.
Who the fuck?
And then it did. And it was like, what? It's like, of course you
Why
could
wouldn't you think?
Why wouldn't you think that? It's the perfect place,
Fucking
obviously.
creeps everywhere.
What are we talking about?
The Gilgo murder. There's a new documentary on Netflix. But like that was like the opening line. And it was like,
That guy's getting away with it. I'm telling you right
You
now.
think?
you think so? I think they have no other
know anything
option but
about
to
it.
say
The
guilty.
moment you have a fucking soundproof hidden room inside your house that like your family doesn't even know about and is not allowed to go in, nobody has that.
So why would you think
Like he's
getting
covering
off?
all of his ass, you're saying?
Well, I mean, why would you have a secret fucking room?
What do you mean?
Like,
You mean like how it's a setup? Like they set that up to fucking tee him up? I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't know what I'm saying either.
Good start.
What's up, bro?
You know what's interesting about that? What was interesting about that documentary is that like there's all kinds of shady shit with the guy who's like the police commissioner or some shit like that.
Well, yeah, that's supposedly going to be in this.
Yeah. Well, it's in it.
Oh, I didn't. Get
And they
that
show
far.
this guy. He was like having weird gay sex orgies and shit.
Yes, yes.
They
Bags,
found, like,
bags of clothes,
bags
and
of
shit.
dildos and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And but when he was 16 years old, this guy like dimed somebody out. Like the cops couldn't close a case, and he like dimed somebody out, and then they show the path of him becoming like the chief of police.
We're still talking about the
From
Gilgo guy?
16.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it
The
was
guy that was
part of it. It's
involved.
part
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, yeah.
Part of it. Yeah.
I mean, you throw in a couple of weird gay orgies and you're gonna have issues.
Doesn't make you a bad guy.
What I couldn't believe is that these girls came from different states to come here. That's crazy.
How did we get on this? How'd you guys get
I
on?
don't know. We were just the
Talking
cases
about the
coming
Cybertruck.
Trying
Yeah,
to,
the Cybertruck bodies. Dead
got
bodies.
we're trying to not talk about working out, you know? Save it for the fucking actual show. So we started talking about dead
Why, all of a sudden you don't want to talk about Sexy Rexy? What are you in with that guy?
Sexy Rex. I used to love to talk about sex. Oh, God. But I feel bad for the Tesla owners because I feel like it was like, especially like the people who got the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's what
that
you were
was.
saying. He had a question, but he had to like ask nicely. because
I mean, I thought. I mean, I've always been a fan of Elon Musk. I don't know exactly what he's doing right now, but you know, I'm not a political commentator. But I just specifically feel bad for the people that paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars for that truck,
No, they're
and now
getting
like the
keyed and
fucking,
fucking pissed on.
and the values have probably plummeted.
Yeah.
Like the resale on that is probably like fucking like terrible, and people like went and got pre-ordered that thing. And all
You think
kinds
you'll
of shit.
straight up lose money?
I think you'll without
the
a
truck?
doubt lose
Yeah.
money on that truck.
I feel like those people don't give a shit though. People that have that.
They're definitely not going to have it
No,
for
it's
more
like
than
any
3 years.
luxury item that you buy that really, really plummets in value. There's stuff like that, and that's probably a thing.
I wonder if the redefined guys are regretting it right now. They're switching it up.
Switch up the program.
We should ask them.
I'm going to ask him for a
But
deal.
also on the other side of the coin, I saw a video the other day of some dude like fucking like jumping out of traffic to like kick the Cybertruck, and I'm like, what kind of fucking psychopath are you?
that's
To
nuts.
where like in your day you're gonna be like, let me break from my focus and attack this fucking moving vehicle
Just a regular guy, you
because I don't like the president.
It's great.
Like what the
passion.
fuck? Like you passion? No,
passion
that's
right
like
there.
you need to be in a rubber room and fucking
There's
medicated.
a lot of people that need to be in a rubber
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
Not enough rubber rooms, I guess.
I guess maybe we're short on rubber rooms. What's up?
be.
What's
More
up?
soundproof rooms.
What's going on, man?
Yes.
You didn't think we were going to start talking about fucking gay dildos and Cybertrucks and fucking.
I didn't know
Mass
what we were gonna
murderers?
talk about.
No, we handle this very different. Because everybody's like, hey, what's going on? Tell us about yourself and why you're important.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
No, I don't
we know
want
why
that.
you're important. That's why we asked you to come.
Well, I'm here.
I took a class over there a couple of weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
I saw you guys did the yoga thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, how come they didn't take our class?
We got to do it.
Yeah, we're
gonna
gonna
do it. Yeah.
I took a Monday 5 a.m. You know Matty from the Holy Black.
Yep.
He was like begging me to go,
Yeah, he
and
loves it.
he embarrassed the shit out of me. That guy's an animal.
He's a beast. He's
He's
been coming for a little while
unbelievable.
now, probably almost a year, maybe.
Yeah, he said
He's
over a
consistent.
year.
He's gotten into good shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for like the pace of what you guys do over there.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming.
This is the secret gas station, Jim?
Has anybody ever called your gym the secret gas station gym?
Yeah.
You only look at it with the corner of your eye.
And worse.
It's intimidating.
It is, yeah. That's why when I was like, they did the yoga thing, but they didn't want to come. But I don't blame them because
Yeah, I'll die in that room.
it's
You got
easy
insurance?
not easy, but you can take yoga as like someone that doesn't do anything. But
Right.
if you take that as someone that doesn't do anything, it's
No, we're gonna come. This guy,
I can't do that.
He signed, what do
You
you
see
mean?
the pictures
He
on
signed up
Instagram?
he signed up to fight me. He wants to fight me in October.
Yeah.
So we're
like
built.
MMA.
No, no.
What are we talking here?
About boxing.
Not MMA. That's illegal.
I mean, it's that fight.
Can't use any other of his extremities, just his hands.
Did you see his reaction? Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I think I might have to cancel it after talking with my brother. My brother's totally killed me this weekend.
What they say?
Killed me. Everything negative that you could possibly say, and my brother-in-law. It was 3 against 1.
That you're not
Saying
gonna
that I'm
make it?
probably gonna die. Like, do you know how high medical bills are? Like shit like that,
I don't think so.
No, that's not gonna happen.
right? So I think we definitely have to change it already from 3.
Oh, come on.
3-minute rounds to 2-minute rounds. This is the consensus that I got taken away from it.
All right,
You
well,
could do
We could
over
get
there
you
with
into a
them.
workout.
Dude,
class.
I watched a couple videos. You importing those people in with those fucking bodies? Like, where were these people coming from? Do they live around
We
here?
just breed them.
These are moms and fucking.
Yeah, that's the worst part. You're looking next to you, and there's like a 50-year-old
That's what
woman.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I did my research. It scared me. I thought the comedian was coming in. I got stoned.
There was one thing we were doing, and the woman next to me was like, "You want these?" And they were like, it was like 30-pound fucking dumbbells, and I'm like, "No, I don't
okay.
fucking want those. Get out of here." She's like trying to take the ones that I had, which are like 25, and I'm
How
like,
does it-
you could definitely handle those.
Like what do you have? Like a course to go through, and you have like a couple minutes to do it. Like you're just moving around.
We'll go over the whole workout with you. I don't know what you did, but it was probably something
was
like
full
that.
body, I
Circuits, kind of like
yeah.
But it's like high intensity. It's like cardio based. Like
Yeah, it depends on the day. Sometimes it's more or less. Sometimes there's not really, if it was like usually maybe 2 days out of the week are like more lifting days where it's maybe 5 minutes of cardio or something like that.
Okay.
Like easier. But usually you'd probably find like 50-50-ish
Do
strength.
you know what you're walking into that day? Like
Yeah.
me. I'm saying me. I go there.
no, they keep it secret.
You would know the
Oh,
day.
I'm asking a question.
You would
I
know
feel-
what kind of day it was.
Okay.
So like I could advise like
Have you been there?
No, I
Have you looked at anything on the internet?
Well, of course. I mean, I've seen the stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the specific programming, but
Looks wild.
Pretty fucking cool.
you could sign up for like an
hard.
upper body strength day. You'd be okay.
Yeah.
how long has OG been going?
We opened right around the end of 2020.
Okay.
So five years.
How was that? Like, you were open during it? I don't even know when that
We were
was at this point.
open. So COVID shutdown happened, and then we came up with the idea for it. Then
Okay.
we opened. I think we signed our lease maybe like July, something towards end of the year. Which I don't know. I think everything was just opening back up.
Right.
I think when we opened, like you were supposed to take temperature checks and still wear masks, but it was a bad time to open. Like a lot of people were like
Afraid.
smart people that were like, you should probably wait, man. Like
Yeah.
it's not a good time to take a risk like this. Just
Boy, were they
wait a
wrong.
year. Yeah.
Well, did you guys have like a following when you opened up?
Little
'Cause
bit.
Evan, he was like a Orange Theory
Yeah,
trainer or
yeah.
something?
So he had a pretty good following. We had probably 100 members within the first year.
That's awesome. That's cool.
We started small though. We had probably 15-person classes. Now we have like 50-person classes. Like you had probably a pretty full.
It's 40 people.
5 a.m. Yeah.
That's what I was most impressed with was, first of all, it was 5 a.m. and it's like you come into the town of Lindenhurst and like, where the fuck are all these people going? Right. Like,
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning and it was packed right over there by where you guys are. And then he was telling me how like you guys like change the whole makeup of the place every night, basically.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Everything's on wheels.
It's pretty crazy.
Like to accommodate whatever the specific class is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, literally everything's on wheels. Nothing's electric. Like the treadmills are beltless, motorless.
We have one of those back
We
there.
have
It's
assault
pretty
bikes.
cool.
Yeah,
I like
so
those.
everything's on wheels. And the program is more. We're not like a franchise, so we just do whatever we want to do. So we can do CrossFit, or we can do sandbags. We can do kettlebells. We can do
And you
barbells,
guys are
dumbbells.
just-
We could run. We can do any. We
And
can
you're just
jump.
tweaking programming all the time,
Yeah,
changing stuff around. And just,
like Evan does a lot of most of the programming now, and it's kind of like whatever he's into trickles into the format for the So if he's really into racing and cardio, you'll
Yeah.
probably see more racing and cardio. And then there was a phase where we were just really into strength, and there was only like a tiny bit of cardio. We were just
Yeah.
like bodybuilding.
that's cool.
What'd you
So-
do?
I don't know.
cardio.
I think a Monday is usually a full body
was
strength
full
if you
body.
did it anytime recently.
Yeah, it was full body.
Full body with a strength focus.
It was me, Maddie, Katie. Do you know Katie? She goes there. She's
What's
on
her last
one of
name?
our podcasts.
Caffarelli.
Yeah. And then new guy who's going there is a good friend of mine, Mike, big guy. He lost a bunch of weight. Weight
Yeah,
loss
I know what you're
surgery.
talking about.
Yeah, bald guy. So it was all four of us, and these three are just like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
What do you do when you come
I
up
had
to
to
like
do the hip
pull-up
thruster
part?
thing. I had to do the hip thruster thing with the straight bar, and the fucking thing, all the weights are falling off as I'm doing it. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody's staring at me. But everybody was like really cool and like, tried to help me out. So,
Yeah.
Is your father working out over there too?
No.
Once in a while? No?
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He has though, but he's good. He's staying busy. He works out at Crunch.
Okay, cool.
Still does some little bit of private training. He's still over there at the cryo spot.
All right.
So
This guy's the first guy I ever did an ice bath with. Oh, I never did that.
yeah.
Used to go to cryology, and one day he was like, "Yo, we got something." He's like, "It's not for everybody. But
It's in my backyard.
Come to my house." And he's going to do this fucking shit. He's got like a whole like fucking. It's like a freezer.
Like commercial
It was
chest
like a
freezer,
freezer. And this is before like people were doing it, but it was before like the huge.
Probably 5
craze.
years ago.
Yeah,
Probably.
it was a while ago.
Yeah.
You guys used to have it as part of where you are.
No,
We
I
did
had it in
also
his
used
back
to
of his
have
house.
it. Yeah. But that was even before. I don't even think I was open yet.
I think that's when you guys were just fucking around with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a new way to get cold.
Yeah. I had that ice bath in my backyard that I actually brought to the business in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we got a real ice bath.
And I go to his house and I'm like, we just get into this fucking freezer.
Probably still got a photo
And
on
his,
here.
his dad is like, you just gotta breathe, man. You should have fucking breathe. And I'm like, I think they were playing like Metallica or some shit. And it was amazing. It was fucking amazing. And then we get into the hot tub and I'm like, who are you guys, man? You guys know what's up. It's fucking great.
Do you ever do that? Ice?
I did it once, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right? Cold plunge? It wasn't
Yeah,
ice.
yeah.
bath.
It's close.
Yeah, I did it. I succeeded.
That one was cold. That was
That
like
was-
that
that's
was
as
like
cold as it gets.
that was
It was
like
like
30
30.
something
Yeah.
degrees. That was fucking insane.
All right. I did like 46.
You were, it was like 42 where you were.
Was it?
Yeah.
42.
Where'd you go?
Wherever he took me.
In Bayport.
Wherever
Guys,
he made
place
me
out
go.
there. I live out in Sayville. That's the place I go to. But yeah. How'd you guys get into that part of it? Because the cryology and everything, like the cold.
My dad
Therapy.
actually. My dad was a bodybuilder when I was growing up, so he's been always into fitness. He was a personal trainer, and then he found out about cryotherapy through an injury, and there was nothing really around at that time. So he went to New York City or Philadelphia, New York City, whatever, where he went to at the time, and then he just loved it and decided to open one here. That was when I was finishing college. So for pretty much the 5 years that I got out of college, I did like cold therapy, infrared sauna. We did vitamin IVs.
Head of the times.
Thermatech.
Yeah. It was actually, it was like a little too early, honestly, like
Really?
looking back on it. Yeah. And then it wasn't as much of a market for it, I guess, as there is now. And now there's more, but now cold plunging is more popular. And
I think they're still trying to figure it out though. Like, is it relaxing? It's not really relaxing. It's
yeah,
kinda
no.
like
I think it really
torture.
got popular through like the Goggins, like just be hard and like do hard shit and like almost like punish yourself,
Yeah. It's definitely a dopamine rush. There's no question about that, and everybody loves dopamine rushes.
Yeah.
And it's a relatively healthy way to get that.
I think if you do it regular enough, you'll get physical benefit from it.
Yeah.
You can't just do it once, like with anything, But if you do it, you'll feel like you have aches and pains and shit. You'll feel better.
Yeah.
Your knees, your back. You'll sleep a little better.
I used to feel like that coming to you guys at cryology.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Coming to cryology regularly.
Yeah. So
was-
more or less, that's just like an easy way to do ice.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot more.
And get like an older woman to go in there
Definitely.
and like
Definitely not as hard.
not panic.
entry level.
Yeah. It's still good, but I think really the bigger issue with it from a business standpoint is like it costs money to take nitrogen out of the air, pressurize it, get it delivered, and then you end up having to charge for a therapy that you're supposed to do all the time. Where
Right.
like if it was technically if you could make your own ice, then you just can run it without.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you really want to come to people to. It's like the gym. Like if you just come once and every so often, you're not gonna walk around. People aren't gonna say, "What are you doing for workouts?" But then you're like an everyday kind of guy.
Yeah.
Give it a month or two, and you see real changes with
Yeah.
it. But it's got to be cost effective to do that.
Yeah.
But they still have it, right? You guys still
No,
have
it's
two
still
places?
there. Yeah. It's still doing well.
You guys still have the spot in Queens too?
No,
No.
just Patchogue and Babylon. So we had 5 of them actually before COVID,
Yeah. I remember
and
you
then
made
we
the deal with
opened
that guy.
3 of them back up, and then and then just stuck to 2, and then I kind of did my own thing after that.
He didn't want to transition it to more of like the cold plunge style places.
I
There's
don't
not
know.
a lot of those places.
There's
I'm
not,
surprised
yeah.
at.
There's not.
What, cold plunge?
Yeah. The like the actual like I start to see a lot of chains like popping up though on my phone and
It's getting
stuff.
popular in the city now.
Yeah. A
And
lot of
more-
They're
chains.
having like those parties, like those sauna
Yeah,
parties,
like,
like
yeah,
9
yeah.
a.m. Fucking. It's a thing. I think like the social, like if you have a place that's like geared to like small groups and like you have a sauna that can fit a bunch of people,
Yeah.
and you can have like a whole experience where you're doing sauna and cold plunge.
Yeah. That's like my end goal dream.
That
to be
is
honest.
that I think
Be like
that's
social wellness meets physical. a little
100%.
cafe and all
I
that
think
stuff.
it's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
It's a very like healthy.
Yeah, Long
way
Island's a
of-
pretty good spot for it too, to be honest.
Yeah.
We have a
How
good-
come you guys stopped doing the cold plunge over, but it's just too much to keep
we didn't
up
have
with?
space for it anymore.
Space, okay.
We just kept expanding the gym, and we ended up, it was inside at one point, and we moved it outside at one point. Then there was kind of like 4 months out of the year it didn't get used that much in the winter, and then we just put storage sheds out there now, so there's not even actually any room for it. So it wasn't really what we did anyway. It was
Right.
kind of hard logistically. We don't have a locker room. It was in an alley, so it was like
Yeah.
you had to go through the gym to get to it.
I see a lot of gyms, like even on Instagram now, trying to like bolt that service on to like make more
Yeah,
money. You
yeah.
know, like
Oh, definitely.
It makes sense like that if you have the
100%.
space for it.
another $50 a month.
It's the same
you can use it.
clientele, kind
Yeah.
of, you know. It's like you don't really get outside people that are going to come in and use that stuff as much.
Right.
But if you can create a little hub all in one, then I think it works really well.
How many members you guys have now?
I think close to 1,000.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, we have that class. That 5 is usually the first one, so there's usually every hour, but it's 75 minutes because there's a little 15-minute buffer. So it'd be like 5, 6, 15, 7:30, 8:45, 10. Sometimes there's an 11:15, and then we start back up at 2:30, and the same thing until 8 o'clock. Yeah. So it's like around 10 classes a day with
40 people. a
40
class.
people coming in.
Yeah, they were telling me that like you guys like post them on like the 12th of the month or something like that.
Yeah,
and they just
yeah, it
fill
was
up
getting
right
too
away.
busy. Like we used to have the schedule out for a couple months, and then there's like so many people that try to get into class now. We'll drop it on the halfway through the month. And
Oh, so you have to
book
you have to sign up for each class. You can't
It's
just
kind of
roll
hard
up.
to get in a little bit sometimes now
Got you.
because a lot of people are regular. Most people are regular. There's very few people now that just drop in or pay like a. We used to have we still have like an 8-class package.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just end up doing unlimited.
Are you supposed to do that every day?
I mean, it depends what you want.
Right.
It depends what you want. I'm in a little bit of a different. That's not really the style of fitness that I use for my personal life.
Yeah.
Anymore. So I'm bigger on like feeling good, taking rests when I need it. I like more building muscle training wise. Like I did my cardio. I just did the New York City Marathon in November, and then
nice.
after that, I felt like I'm kind of done with cardio for a little while.
Yeah, right.
So like doing high
I've ran
intensity
enough
where
this
I'm
year.
like doing burpees and jumping and shit. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to just sit on the bench and
Yeah.
take my time. It's a lot funner. I love bodybuilding
some
too. That's
muscle.
just yeah. So I'll take that 10 over 10 times right now. But I think you can do it all. You can do it every day. It's a good little mix. It's like similar to CrossFit-ish where you're not going to do the same thing every day. So
Yeah.
whatever you hit today, you kind of rest tomorrow while you still do something else. And then you just rest as you need it.
Crazy.
Get in there.
Let's go, Kurt.
Be a pussy.
No, we're gonna go. We're gonna set it up. Bring the cameras and the whole bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to
Nah,
fight,
booked up.
If you're
gonna
Chris
fight,
said,
you
no,
can
he
get through
said they're
class.
booked up.
Yeah, when are you calling? You just missed the appointment. Seriously though, what do you do when you get to like the pull-up minute and you can't do pull-ups? Like what do you do?
You
try?
have like a little band, like a resistance help.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like you wouldn't be the only one that can't do a pull-up.
A lot of people get to.
You probably have 75% of people that can't do the pull-up.
I don't want to be embarrassed.
It's beginner friendly, but it's real. It's
Everybody's
also
got their
real
shirt off in
training.
there. Everybody's got their shirt off.
Yeah, but you got to have the attitude, and I think this is like it's just like jujitsu. It's the same thing. It's like that's beginner friendly too.
I
But-
agree.
but you have to have the understanding. Like if you're the type of person that like has the expectation that you're going to walk in and be good,
Yeah.
you're
get your ass handed to
yeah.
you.
It's just
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way.
I guess you got to go in there knowing that you're taking a class, whether you can do it or
Well,
not.
you got to
just-
go
you
there
just pass
knowing
through.
with a beginner's mind of like this is
Yeah.
something that I don't know how to do.
Well, it's like the
and
yoga lady
probably
said.
not going to be great at it.
Right.
The yoga lady said, like, if you like don't do that all the time and you start out at like 100, you got nowhere to go.
Right.
Yes.
You're gonna crap out
Exactly.
30 minutes in. You know.
I don't want to crap out 30 minutes in. Do an hour class.
You will probably, but you'll just survive. You'll just survive. You know.
Yeah, you just get through it.
And you just tread.
I think
water.
that's the good thing about the class setting, though, is and you go to the gym and you're 30 minutes in, and you're like, okay, I had enough.
Okay.
But you go to class and you're 30 minutes in, but there's 20 minutes left of the workout. Then you're like, I'm gonna get through this, and then you got a couple other people around you.
Right.
It's loud and you already got your sweat on, so the hardest
It's an
part.
accomplishment.
Yeah. And you feel so good when you finish a workout like that.
And every kind of conditioning is different. You know what I mean? Like I don't train like that. I'm sure I'll walk
Right,
out there
yeah,
and
it'd be different.
fucking kick my ass.
Yeah.
I can do fucking 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like,
even when I was peak
but
run
doing that-
conditioning, jiu-jitsu was kicking my ass still.
it's just different. It's a different type of training at
Yeah.
high intensity is
Yeah.
a completely different thing.
It goes by so fast though.
Does it?
The
That's a
hour
good
goes,
thing.
well, it goes so fast.
I can't do 5-minute rounds right now.
We were both looking at each other when you said that.
5-minute.
I could probably do 3 or 4.
You just have a surgery recently?
I had a surgery.
It's old hat.
Stop making
like a year ago.
Okay. Fine now?
Yeah. I feel like the other shoulder's starting to hurt now.
Yeah.
But I dislocated it.
Which
I
one? You
flipped
right?
over and fucking hit the fucking mat, and it just came out. It was fucked up. Man.
That was a funny day.
No, full
Stuff too?
rotator cuff.
Oh.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It was fucking crazy. They came in, had to cut my gi off and shit. Took me away in the fucking.
Which shoulder's hurting now? You right one?
Yeah, the right one.
All right, cool.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I got over it pretty quick though, and got back to training pretty quick. I did the 8. I was like clean for like 2-3 months, like cleared to go. And I went and did the fucking ADC trials like fucking idiot. I'm like, yeah, this is a good idea. Compete in the hardest fucking tournament that there is.
How was it?
I got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Fucking destroyed.
That was right. That was after, right? That was
That was a
when you
fun
repaired
day.
yourself.
It took me fucking longer to drive there than this guy actually.
He still did it.
No, I
I
lost.
spent more time at dinner than fucking in the casino.
Didn't you leave dinner?
It was rough. It
think
was
you
rough.
left dinner
My second
early.
match was all right, but like I was the first guy fucking just.
Is this gi or no gi?
It was no gi. First guy,
Guy was
dropped down,
completely
put me in a
tattooed,
fucking,
fucking head.
put me in a heel hook like
He had a
immediately.
lizard fucking tongue tattooed on the top
Yeah.
of his head. I was like, this is the guy. I'm like, bro.
He couldn't go up against Mitch from Connecticut.
Exactly. This guy's definitely not an accountant, you know? But that's what you get though. Like those guys too. It's like they do that shit 4 or 5 times a day.
Yep.
Like, the guys that I
Yeah.
hang out with at the kava place from like Transcend and that.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Some guys are fucking super in and trying to make it their thing, which it's good for them, you know.
Yeah. Everything that I have this bad habit of getting into something and then getting too far into it and then
Yeah.
starting to realize that I'm getting like those guys that are just like this is just all they do and all they talk about, and then I end up getting turned off from it,
Yeah.
and I gotta go like find something else.
I think the only reason why I'm still doing it is because I've been able to avoid that.
Yeah,
Because you get too crazy to where like, what are you trying to do?
yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you trying? Even
should I
if
make
you,
this my life goal to be a gold medalist in the ADCC? Like,
but it's I
Looking
understand.
up the age cutoff if
Yeah,
you can
like-
enter or not.
is it too late?
Yeah, no, there's definitely but there's freaks out there like Gay who can like have a full-time
Yeah.
job and fucking do whatever it does and then also just be winning for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean he's
fucking
passionate
wild.
about it, so
big time.
Seems like the branding is real important to you guys at the gym. Is that like intentional or that's just like
yeah,
who you guys
no, it's
are?
very intentional.
Yeah.
I think that's the new age that we live in is like the idea and the appearance and delivery of something is like as important almost as the product. I actually think that's why we're so much better than most of the other like chain gyms is because they just branded well and then
yeah.
the product is kind of just like a little
Well, as soon as you said that everything's on wheels and we change the programming around and do it overnight, like it seems to me that you guys have really what is the magic combination of you have incredible aesthetics and branding and then you have awesome process and operations.
Yeah.
And like when you combine that, that's real motherfucker
Yeah,
shit.
I think a lot of, especially like in fitness, I think a lot of it is run by corporate, and there are guys that aren't really like super familiar with what's going on in fitness world, and they just are either very traditional or they just look at numbers and
Yep.
like they don't have an idea. Like we just have such a different sauce to be able to pull from, and like my partner Evan does a lot of programming, but he's done lots of different, like he's doing Muay Thai right now, but he's done triathlons and he's done all these different styles of training, and me as well. So then we just take these little, we have components of gymnastics while we're doing some Olympic lifting, while we're also doing like track progressions on the
Well, you guys
treadmill.
are really passionate about it.
Yeah.
And you're infusing the business
Right.
with your passion. And that when you have incredible marketing and you can deliver solid product, plus you're providing that level
Yeah.
of like, I fucking love this shit and this is what I think about.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat.
And just like we were just saying with people like kind of committing their lives to things, it makes like regular people be like, I'm going to commit my life to fitness now because it's just like amazing, and I'm just going to start competing, and
Yeah.
and if you wanna get, it's not super beginner friendly, but if it's welcome to beginners, and if you want to get like to the highest level of jiu-jitsu, you would go to a good school. You wouldn't go to like a little beginner school. You know, you go to like the real thing right away, and then you just survive for a little while, and then eventually you're like kind of raising the ranks, and then you're helping new beginners, and then you stick with it long enough. And I think it's like the program is really, really good. Yeah. It's really well put together. I don't think that. Granted, we only have one right now, which makes it really easy for us because we have perfect oversight. Like I think that's where CrossFit went wrong, is they just expanded, and then you lose, you know, who's doing the programming. It's like one guy maybe, or a board of guys that maybe don't know.
Is the next move multiple locations or a larger location?
We played around with both.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I come to find Long Island's like hard, real estate wise.
You mean cost wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's fucking stupid.
To find the right place on the right plot of land,
at the
right
price.
size that has the right pricing.
Yeah. Very difficult.
Yeah, and we're kind of industrial now, our vibe, so it's hard to get parking a lot of times industrial, or it's just way off the beaten path.
Right.
So it's been really hard. The last couple of years we've been trying.
Well, I mean, it's like you guys have crafted this identity that's so important to you that you got to be careful about where you put it.
Right.
You know, making it too big. Where
It's
now
kind of
it's
got to
like,
look the same.
Yeah.
I want to ideally keep that same exact aesthetic, keep the programming the same, you know, so that becomes a little bit harder to now translate one thing into maybe two spots that look a little bit different. Yeah. But we have a lot of good help and good staff and good members right now that are helpful as well. So we have all the pieces in place. I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, sure. Right spot will appear.
Yeah.
There's a community
community,
aspect to it. You know,
hugely.
People love being at the beginning of something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
well, people like being a part of something.
Yeah, like being a part of the first thing. You know what I mean? And then that'll just grow. That's cool.
What is Hyrox? I always see that you for a while.
It's getting so huge.
What is
they
that?
are? So they're a fitness race, but it's like a standardized fitness race. So it's kind of like a half a marathon, where you always know you're going to do a half marathon. The course is going to be different. It's going to be in a different part of the world. It's going to be a different start time, different amount of people that are going to race it, but it's always going to be a half marathon. So I can say, what did you run a half marathon in? And I can say, oh, I ran it in this. And you might have ran yours in Europe, but I might have ran it in US, and we would still be able to compare exactly. So Hyrox took that kind of concept, and they standardized a fitness race, which is, it's an 8-kilometer race, so it's not a 5K is a 5-kilometer race. It's an 8-kilometer race. You don't run the entire time. You run broken up 1 kilometer at a time, and then you do a fitness event, like a station event in between, which is like a walking lunge or a sled push or a sled pull or a row or a ski or a wall ball, and they have the same exact 8 events for the same exact distance or rep count, basically. And then they host these races over the world, and they kind of have a season format where you can basically qualify for like a world championship is basically how they frame it. But now you're getting a lot of these really high level like ex-CrossFitters and things like that are coming over, because Hyrox has sponsorships now with like Puma and this Center Fit, which is like a big equipment company. But their growth
is there additional? Is it just a half marathon? Because I saw you doing like.
So the ski is the first event. So you run a kilometer, and then you ski 1,000 meters a kilometer, and then you run another kilometer.
So it's a cumulative half marathon in different.
Yeah,
things?
8 kilometers. I think a half marathon is 21 kilometers. So it's 8 kilometers. So it's much less than a half marathon in distance, but it's sort of equivalent in time.
So it's like kind of like an Ironman and a half marathon.
Yeah, they kind of
combined?
took some of these things and blended it with a little bit of CrossFit almost. So usually the course will have think of like a track. You have a running perimeter, and then you'll enter through an archway, and you'll go into your event. So you'll run your kilometer distance around the outside. You'll enter into like the center of the field basically, and you would go to station number 1, which is your ski. And then you finish your ski, and then you go enter back into the running field. You do your next run, and then you enter again to the sled. And you're racing people. So there's lanes basically when you're running on the laps together. You don't necessarily know where everyone's at. But then you'll enter together, and we might both enter into event number 1 at the same time, and then we kind of take the first 2 lanes next to each other, and we're kind of racing on the ski, and then we go back into the run. So it's a foot race that has fitness broken into it, and it's worldwide now as well. It's in like, I don't know how many countries, but it's everywhere.
How many have you done?
I've done over 5, I think.
Okay.
So I did the first one, which was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, then qualified for the World Championship the next for that season actually. So I did that in Manchester, And then I did a couple races the next year, and it just started getting more and more popular. You started getting a lot of faster runner type guys that were starting to get involved. All the records are just going quicker and quicker and quicker. And so for a little while, I could kind of get by because I was a decent runner, but I was like a lot stronger than most of the people there. And now you're getting these guys that are just really, really high level runners, like not that far off from the best Olympic, runners. And then they're also pretty decent at fitness. So for me now, it's like I like to be competitive in things. So I'm like, okay, I can't really compete that much anymore. I could do like local stuff and beat myself, but the ship is sailing a little bit on being the professional.
How does it like? Is it like an age thing? Like how do they?
There's
Group
brackets
people?
for age. It's usually like every 5 years you'd get bracketed with other guys that were between 30 and 34 and 35 and 39 and 40 and 45, and which is nice, but pretty much from 25 years old to like 40 years old are like they're all stellar.
Sure.
Like these guys are running my sprint pace for like the entire race.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
There's a guy that I follow who did it. He's like a chef. He wrote a book. What's his name? Dan
Chef
Churchill
wrote a
or
book
something
and
like
does
that.
Yeah, actually, I recognize the
does
name.
fitness.
Yeah. And he, I follow him, and this guy's a fucking machine.
superstar.
Yeah, I think he smoked it if I remember correctly
he's a
too.
machine.
Yeah.
He was like a chef on like one of those ABC shows or something, like morning shows or something like that. But this guy's like posting videos of him like running around Manhattan on Saturday, like around the whole fucking island.
Yeah, so you see now run clubs are getting like really, really popular. Running's getting really popular again. And,
Ultra marathon.
and-
You have any interest in that?
I don't know. When I ran the marathon, I towards the end I was like, I don't know how anyone could do
Why am I doing this?
like so the ultra or
How
like
long did it take you to run the marathon?
3 hours and 28 minutes.
3 hours and 28 minutes for 26 miles?
Yeah.
So you didn't have to piss yourself?
No, I did that. I luckily had no digestive issues.
That's a really good time.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like a
time.
7:45 mile,
That's wild.
You don't ever have to do it ever again.
and I probably won't
you
ever
don't
do it
ever
again. Yeah.
have to do it again.
Yeah.
Cool to say. Cool to say.
You did. So you did the New York City Marathon.
Yeah.
So you had to do all like the qualifiers.
No, so I got like a bib. I got like
Okay.
a bib through we're like an affiliate for the people that host the race. So we had a
Okay.
couple bibs, but otherwise it's really hard to get into.
Yeah.
So I got a phone call like, hey, we could maybe get in if you want. I think we might have an extra bib, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it because I probably won't. I'll never do. Usually the qualifiers like you do 9. You do 9 races, New York City races, and then you volunteer for a 10th race, and then you still have to pay for the race. But you also have to pay for all of those races, and they're all in the city. So you're paying $100-$200 a race for 10 of them, and they're all in the city. So you're dropping a couple grand basically to get the qualifier. Then the race itself is like $300, and then whatever it costs you to train and
And you have to be decent.
hopefully you actually
You have to be decent.
Did you train up?
I hired a real running coach. His name was Jonah Rosner. He was doing like a run. He was like some sort of race director guy for Nike in Brooklyn. So he's like a real runner. So I really dove all into it. I got a real running coach. I was on like a 40-mile-a-week program pretty much. I totally stopped lifting because I had no energy. Yeah. I was sometimes on the weekends I was doing 2-hour runs, 2.5-hour runs.
Yeah, you don't really want to gain that up a bunch.
And like I just didn't even have the effort for it. I just withered away, kind of muscle wise, honestly. Yeah. So now that's why I'm obsessed now with like just bodybuilding and not doing cardio anymore because
you've done enough cardio. It's over.
I've like done enough for a lifetime.
There's like science. There's like science behind that, right? Like that type of cardio, like it just zaps, sucks all the energy out of your muscles.
I like that stuff though. That's why I hired the coach that I hired because he's like kind of like a nerdy running type of guy where he's really into all the science around how to program things, and that's my livelihood is like a coach. So I just am always so much. I just overanalyze it in like a good way. I just want to understand every little facet around why you would program something for who, what it's going to do, why you might do this instead of that, and then I'll hire multiple people just so I get different kind of takes on it. But
that's smart.
Yeah, there is. I think when you're in the old days, they just ran a lot. I don't think they maybe stopwatch some things and whatever. But I think that the science has come around so much to fueling and to how much frequency and how to recover better, but just really how to program more like efficiently and effectively and not hurt yourself while you're doing it. But it worked really well for me because I went from being like having 10-minute miles would be like a average run for me to going and doing 7:45-minute. I think some of my low marathon miles were like around 7-minute miles.
Wow.
Which I could almost not even do now if I tried.
What did you think about What'd you think about when you were running for 3 hours?
Honestly, if you've never been to the New York City Marathon, like everyone said before, oh, there's such like a good the atmosphere is
I've been a
crazy. It's gonna
spectator.
pick
I
you
was a
up.
spectator
I
once.
was so blown away by how
Supportive.
supportive people there were. Where it just felt like the entire time I was just high-fiving, and it felt like I was like professional kind of.
Okay.
Like I remember at certain points the road would get so narrow, like the size of these walls, pretty much, and they're like lined with like screaming people, like.
Wow.
Screaming at you, like looking you in the eyes, being like, "You're gonna fucking do this!
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you're amazing! You're going
That's
so
awesome.
fast!" Like,
That's great.
So I felt like the entire time. Plus, I was just really, really dialed into like what the goal that I had was. So I was all programmed into my watch. Like
Okay.
it would buzz me
Keeping
if I was
time.
too fast or not. So I was just
Headphones in, headphones not.
one headphone in. I ran on the left side the entire time, so I had no left headphone in, so I would hear
Okay.
the crowd, and I had my little right headphone in, and I was listening to like Creed and
Okay.
like soft rock the entire time, just like cruising the entire time. Yeah,
You want to like
yacht rock.
not. You want to stay calm the whole time.
yeah,
right? You
yeah. I
stop
was just
instead
like
of what
in
you
a
think.
zone the entire time.
Yeah.
I just over and over was just like, okay, relax, relax,
Yeah,
relax.
that's
And then the first 18 went by like nothing. Like I was just cruising. The last from 18 to 26 was like really brutal.
Okay.
Like I felt like I was on the verge of like a severe cramp where like hamstrings, calves feeling really tight. My chest was cramping just from my arms like swinging. So my forearms started getting cramps. I'm like, all right, this isn't good. Like I got another hour almost to freaking run, and I'm supposed to be getting a little faster even, like the way that the pacing was set up. And then I pretty much just kind of like held on for dear life from 18 to 26, like gripped my teeth down. Like it was like every step
That's
was
when
like,
you had to
"Oh,
dive
this
into that
fucking
Goggins.
hurts."
That Goggins
Yeah,
playbook.
yeah. Which like he takes it to another level where his feet are broken and he's like shitting himself.
No.
Like, I was nowhere close to there, but
Damn.
as soon as I stopped, I could barely walk. I like
Yeah, you see
I could
people
barely
drop
walk
right
anymore.
away.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it took me like a week to
I
be
try
able
and
to
run
like
around
walk
the
again.
pond around my block, and I just start thinking about people.
that
I
was
wanna,
me like last
murder.
week.
Like right away.
I can't do running for me has always been an attention span thing. I have a really hard time.
It's hard.
Get into that like cruising.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I
Place.
want to know, like, what am I supposed to be thinking of while I'm running? I can't just keep on being like,
Yeah.
this is great. I'm
I think
running.
for me, the like just like with weightlifting, I need to like gamify it for myself and give myself like numbers and like goals per session and things like that. So
Okay.
and if there's too much of it, then you can't. It's not fun anymore. So it needs to be like a deliverable amount. Like the marathon starts to get a little bit out of hand, I think, but. It's so much easier to do like a 30-minute run where you have like 5 minutes hard and then 3 minutes easy and then 5 minutes at a different pace hard, and you're kind of just doing every effort, not really thinking about what's next because you're so concerned with
What you're doing
what the number is now, and then it's almost just like keeping score of things, you know.
Okay.
And then when the score is getting better, it becomes fun. So I think if it's a digestible amount of like volume that you would have to do, because I agree that just saying like just go run for an hour, it's like,
hard.
it's awful, you know. And part of marathon training, there is some of that. Like this is just going to be 2 hours where you just go
Got to
run.
be a lot of mental.
Yeah.
it has
I've
to be
recently
mental
gotten
in
into like incline treadmill, what's that shit called? Those those numbers, like 10 degree incline
Yeah.
At 3, out of 3. I've been doing a lot of that for a while, and that
Running it or walking it?
No, just walking.
Yeah.
Well, like fast walking. But I find that's a lot.
4.5
That's
miles per hour.
that's more. No, 3 and 10 is usually like a nice. It's
10
a ni-
incline 3 speed.
10 incline 3 speed.
Yeah.
And I find that 30 to 45 minutes, I'll burn like 300-400 calories.
Yeah, I think at this point for me, that's what I would do. You don't have to run.
I
Just
like
walk.
that.
Yeah.
Ruck
what I've been
walk is
doing.
nice, like a little vest or an incline,
Yep.
or if you go find a trail or something
Yep.
like that, where you get a little something. But I think I just did all my hormones recently, and I think if I would have done them like post marathon, I think they would have been awful.
Oh,
I think,
yeah?
Yeah. Like I didn't feel good.
Yeah, there's no way that that's good for you.
don't
It
think you're
didn't feel
supposed to be
healthy.
running.
It
It's
felt
total
way beyond.
depletion of
Yeah.
of
The gym that I go to now, he's all into like just bodybuilding,
Yeah.
and he's like, you're not meant to do that,
Yeah,
like,
it beats you up, and I think there's some level of like I'm not doing any of it right now, and I'm like, all right, it's probably not super healthy if I'm like huffing up the stairs.
Yeah.
I should probably get myself walking again and go for jogs here and there where I'm not. I jogged for 30 minutes last week, and I the next day I felt like my upper body was sore.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I haven't done anything in months. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to feel like that after I, jog.
I think there's two types of people though. There's people that need that cardio to like as more of like a mental thing than anything else. And then there's the people who think they're getting healthy by doing it. But you see a lot of people that do a lot of cardio like that and they don't look healthy.
They don't look good.
I think it's
Look like
just it's the
skeletons.
same
Yeah.
shit that we talk about like fucking how you manage your day and your personality style. It's the same thing. It's like everybody there's a different version of this stuff for everybody, and like some things are good for some people and some things aren't good for other people.
Yeah, even like I said, I did that hormone panel. I hired a high level. He's not a doctor, but he's into men's blood work and
Yeah.
things like that. And he's like, yeah, the people that have the absolute worst
Yeah.
blood work is usually triathlons, like
Yeah.
long distance runners,
Yeah.
especially women.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a sick like mental. Where you're like, dude, this isn't healthy anymore. Like the numbers are here, and they're like, I don't care. Like I just want to do this.
Yeah, I need it to feel good.
Yeah.
And they have like no muscle.
Right,
Like,
you
they
just
can't
waste
build
away.
muscle.
Yeah. I everyone thinks I'm exaggerating, but I'm like, I look in the mirror now, and I almost don't even recognize like my legs, how much muscle tone that I've probably lost like 25 pounds.
Wow.
And I wasn't fat before. I was super lean before, so I'm like, I didn't really have a lot of, maybe lost a couple pounds of fat, but I lost like a lot of muscle. Yeah. And it's fun now because I'm just gaining it back every week. So it's like your first time working out again, where you just are like better every session.
I want to get to the point where I could like talk while I run. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't talk to anybody next to me.
I don't think it's,
I know you don't like running at all. Like everything we've said about
I
running.
feel like my breathing, I don't know how to breathe.
But they say like that's like the zone 3 thing. They say that like
Zone
when
2
you can
is supposed to be,
barely
like, conversational.
when you can barely have a conversation.
So pretty much Zone 2 got popular, which is conversational running, because all these runners were doing like 100 miles a week, which there's only 7 days in the week. You're doing 10, 15 miles a day if you're doing 100 miles a week. So if you do 100 miles a week, you can't train hard all the time. You just can't handle like the intensity. You just end up getting hurt, or you get sick, or what. You just can't do it.
Right.
So Zone 2 got popular because they realized if you train kind of easier, you can like accumulate a ton of volume there and not kill yourself, and then you have a couple hard workouts throughout the week, but otherwise you just do all this easy running. So when you're like new to running, it's not that important that you're in Zone 2, because you're probably not going to be. You're going to be like huffing and puffing.
Yeah,
and
heart rate.
It's going to be hard. Your heart rate's going to be in Zone 4 maybe. It's not really worth slowing down right away. You just kind of got to suck it for a little while.
Get the conditioning.
Yeah, because conversational is going to be a walk for you right now, so it's kind of worth just running and it not being conversational anymore. And it takes a little while, but you would
I
get
just
there.
feel like that's a calmer run. More healthy.
you hit the treadmill.
Right, then you can-
Yeah.
run
then you
outside.
can-
But I need gum. I spit a lot.
Couple ciggies.
Inside the gym, you spit?
No, I don't spit inside the gym when I run outside.
You
I
go
like
to Planet
running
Fitness,
outside.
you could spit in there.
You can't spit in Planet Fitness. You can only spit underneath the garbage pail hood.
Yeah, if there's anywhere you can't spit, it's Planet Fitness.
No, I can't stand the treadmill, so I've been doing the
Me too.
incline thing lately.
Okay.
But when I'm outside, I need gum. But sometimes, I
Answer
a few
honestly.
years ago- what?
You rip a ciggy when you're running?
Rip a
I-
cig.
I-
I try not to
Before,
rip a
after,
cig.
at the end?
I try not to rip a cig until an hour after my workout.
Okay.
I try and get. It's funny, right? So I gave myself a number. So
healthy.
You're gamifying it just
and
like
I'm not
it.
saying that works all the time. That's my number.
I finished the New York City Marathon. There was a guy, a tall boy, like a tall beer and a cig right immediately after. I don't know where he got it from.
You should have got his number because that guy's my hero.
I took a picture of it. I'm like, brother.
Cigarette's insane.
Yeah,
the
like,
beer's
that's
one
insane,
thing,
bro.
but like you just ran 20
Straight
fucking
rip a
something
cig,
miles.
That guy's
sip
my
the
hero.
tall beer.
That guy is my
So
hero,
it can be
man.
done.
There are freaks out there. There are freaks who like do everything wrong, but then you just
Yeah.
put them in and they were just made to do.
Yeah.
They are.
That pissed me off a little bit when I thought you'd always
spent
if you just
thousands of dollars on
if
this
you
coach.
just eat
Fucking
healthy, just
dedicated
do
my
the right
life.
thing, you'll just and then there's
Fucking
guys
guys ripping a
eating
Marlboro
fucking
Light.
McDonald's and smoking cigs and coming in that race and fucking destroying me.
Guy doesn't even smoke. He just wanted a cigarette after that. Thing.
Yeah.
He's like, that was 3 hours.
Let's see what this does.
No, but that's like when you have like a fucking brand new guy shows up, white belt, fucking is training with everybody,
Yeah.
and he just like this physical specimen.
Yeah.
He's just like ripping people off of him, and it's like that's not supposed to happen, but it happens.
It's not supposed to happen.
It happens.
Sorry. You think Will Smith is the new Tom Cruise?
Just being weird.
You think Will Smith is like the black Tom Cruise?
I think they're all that
see
because fucking you can't get that famous and then just fade into regularity.
Yeah, but
like
they're not all that. They all don't turn weird.
everybody who's that famous, like that level, I think kind of gets weird.
Yeah, I mean, you call me a conspiracy theorist, but I don't think you get that famous without being weird.
I think there's probably truth to that.
Yeah, there's a
It's a possibility.
I think there's probably truth to that. For you to become like the #1 star in the world, like you probably,
Probably because you waited hand on foot for like years.
So many things.
decades.
Yeah, but who, like those people, like back in the day before like social media and shit like that, like who decided like Will Smith's going to be the guy?
well, that's kind of, I think
know?
what he's saying. Like he probably sucked
Illuminati?
somebody's- He probably
Yeah.
sucked some Illuminati dick. You know what I mean? And like he sucked enough to win.
That's a big club. That's a big club.
It's a lot of dicks to suck.
Hope it's just one, and then you can move on with your life.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's how it works.
This whole fucking row.
Like it's just a guy standing like at the end of a line of guys
All
with like
in one
a
night,
dragon
or-
mask on and just like a fucking wong hanging.
Can you get all your dick sucking done in one night?
Probably not. Probably not.
Just to get to like the next level, then you
yearly
got to
dues
get
or
to that
something,
next
yeah.
level. You know, if you wanted to get the Men in Black level,
Top Gun level.
I Am Legend? Forget it.
he used to be a pretty motivational dude too.
Yeah,
he had
and
some
I-
pretty good YouTube videos of
I
him.
think a
like,
lot of
saying some
people
crazy
liked
shit.
him,
Yeah,
and it
well,
just dwindled.
Because
I read his book.
It's unsustainable. You can't. Like that guy who we think that he is, that's not real. Like
could also just be his wife though.
Are we talking about Will Smith still?
Yeah.
His
And Tom
family is
Cruise.
weird.
His family is
weird.
super weird.
I think his wife might have drove him crazy, which all kind of makes sense for me.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
usually happens in a relationship.
his wife's fucking crazy.
Yes, I agree. Kids are weird. That kid was wearing a fucking house on his head.
You look like Jaden. You look like a retard.
And you can say that now. It's true. Did you see that?
No.
He's wearing a black like mansion on his house on his head at the award show. Yeah.
What was it, a hat?
It was a mask that turned into a hat. I don't know what it was.
Something
It
stupid.
was huge.
Ridiculous.
Trying to pretend it was fashion.
Yes.
Yeah, one of those.
Yes.
No, this is
It's
fashion.
a statement piece.
He made the statement. He looked like a retard.
No, but I believe it wholeheartedly that like we these people become like these idols. We create these images of them, and like they're just people, and they're crazy, and they like desperately want.
There's some people that stay
maintain.
cool though. There's Jack Nicholson was always cool.
Jack Nicholson was
He's
fucking
crazy.
Looney Tunes.
He's definitely crazy, but he's always
Absolute
cool.
Looney Tune.
Still liked. Came out with a movie now. Everybody go see
Yeah,
it.
but if Jack Nicholson was around in the age of Instagram, you probably wouldn't be saying the same thing.
so
like
who's
what
still
Will
cool?
Smith did.
I don't think those people. I don't think it's gonna happen again like that.
you don't
No,
think it's gonna
I don't
happen
think
again?
anyone's ever gonna be that big. They'll be like locally big or like niche big, but not like that.
and I also
not
think-
universally big like that.
I also think because of social media, you get like a guy like Jack Nicholson. Like we didn't have all access to Jack Nicholson, and you still knew that he was a fucking Looney Tune. You knew he was crazy and did crazy shit. Like the fact that now we have all access to everybody, it's impossible because we're all fucking crazy. I mean,
be cool.
you know, like if the camera's on you at all of the different points in a year where your
But
things
does that
aren't
also-
going right, you
Yeah.
know what
so
I mean?
does that really mean everybody just got saturated? They're saturating themselves with what we could see, so nobody could be cool anymore because you're definitely going to get tired of me.
I
That's
think
probably
so.
what it
I
is.
think that's part of it. I think like you go from like, all right, this guy's pretty cool. Oh man, I fucking love him. This guy's great. To oh my god, I can't get
So
away from this fucking
annoying.
guy. It's so annoying. It's just
that's not
constantly, and it's everything's like that.
Gotta
Everything's
be a way
like
to
that.
beat that.
Yeah, I mean, shut the internet off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we have attention spans enough anymore. No, I don't.
We don't.
It's still about connection, though. You know, like you gotta like make a connection with that person. Like you was just saying, they got 1,000 members. That's enough. You know, like
That's enough.
that's enough people.
Nah, I'll
like
take
you
another
guys
1,000
done a
more.
great
I'll take
job.
another
You got a
1,000.
great
Can't fit
product.
anymore. So
No, but I mean, like you.
I know
could-
what you're saying.
You
I know
can
what you're
make a
saying.
great living for the rest of
Yes.
your life with that.
Yes.
You know, like and like you don't need what they got.
You're right.
Ever again.
Yeah, but it's
You know?
easy to say that, but then you got ambition. Then you're like, but I want a new house.
Yeah,
I
but
want a new
then,
fucking
but
this.
then, like the people that want that, it's like
you got to know what you're in for.
the guy's gonna fucking probably lose it.
You're gonna have to suck some dick.
You're gonna slip up. You're gonna slip up at some point.
Exactly. Oh, you want 2,000 fans? Suck that pee-pee.
Why does does it always come back to
I
that?
don't know.
Jesus.
That's quick as play.
Yeah, see? Guy knows.
Suck dick is just a metaphor.
How'd you get those 1,000 minutes?
When do you start drinking the blood of the babies? I mean, that's got to take over the dick sucking.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I don't know where that comes in.
wow. You guys are terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
How'd you get to Will Smith?
Yeah,
I just have on my paper.
He's
Is
got
You
a
went
list
from
of
like
shit.
Is
fucking
Will Smith the next
marathons.
the Black Tom Cruise? I don't know.
What else you got on your paper?
You don't want to know what else is on my paper.
I think that's a definite. That's a great comparison.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's a great
that.
comparison.
Is Will Smith the Black Tom Cruise?
Yeah, I already said that twice.
More than that. More
That's a
than
decent.
Now I got to
comparison.
bleep it. Thanks.
Is Tom Cruise still making movies?
Sure.
Yeah, he's about to come up with another.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible,
Mission
right?
Impossible.
Yeah.
Does he have like a
Last
full
one.
on like leather face at this point?
Yeah.
Or is he
I
still?
mean,
still
Top
looks good.
Gun was
he
huge.
still looks all right.
He still looks good.
Straight Botox.
He still
Yeah,
looks like he's
drinking
40.
baby's blood.
It's actually not even him. It's AI. He's been dead.
You got any like controversial, like you guys were early days, like the cryology and the cold plunge. You got any like crazy like recovery things that are up and coming that you know about?
Baby's blood.
Like fucking
Crazy recovery things. All the peptides and stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
getting super
I
popular.
posted about that the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
You give it a
start
shot.
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So with the guy that I hired, he's very knowledgeable with that type of stuff, and pretty much I've always been natural with everything. So what I told him was, I want to get my blood work done. I want you to look at it. I want to try to naturally get my testosterone back up and whatever levels kind of need to be taken care of, and then I would experiment with some peptides if you thought that that was the route. And if I come back trashed, I would consider going on TRT or taking
TRT,
exogenous hormones.
From
or,
what I've heard and spoken to people about, is that if you do it, you got to do it forever. Which seems
I
makes
think
it
that was
scary.
I think that was the initial. I think that's it's an idea that it's possible, and I think that kind of happened from guys doing it when they were really young without any sort of supervision and running it probably for too long and not cycling it. And
Okay.
I'm not super knowledgeable on how to do it best.
Okay.
yeah, but at some point maybe that's okay. You know,
Well,
like
Joe
if-
Rogan says.
Well, the nice thing
after
about the
50
peptides is
something-
they're a lot less of like anybody
like
that's
repair,
done
right?
Yeah, like so the ones that I've used so far have only really been for repair, wound healing, and joint inflammation and joint repair and things like that. Some of them can turn on growth hormone and like do more powerful, noticeable things. And some of them are there's a million different, like one of them can make you tan. It can like
Oh,
fill
shit,
your
that's
skin pigment out.
That's weird.
Some of them are for sleep. Some are for mental, like focus.
It's all
or-
injectable.
I need
most of them are injectable. Some of them are you can take orally, but they're usually very like delicate. So they don't usually make it if you take a capsule of it. So you have to inject, which is like the big
Delicate mean like it crumbles?
delicate. Like they're so like fragile. Like usually you would cut a peptide would come in a vial and it'd be powder in a vial.
Oh,
and
just sniff it, Jesse.
you'd reconstitute the powder into a liquid by diluting it basically, and then that's what you'd inject. So.
Ooh, you ain't doing that. You know,
No,
It's like an insulin needle though, so it's like a really, really small. Like I've never injected anything before, and I did the first one
You
last
got to do it
week.
yourself.
I did it myself, yeah.
But if you pay the guy, will he do it for you?
This guy's not around, but you people would do it for you, yeah.
I'll do it for you. How much you
I'll
paying?
come to you. You fucking shoot me up.
Whoa,
I did
how
my
much you
dad.
paying? I'll shoot you up. First of all, you're not allowed to take anything before the fight, but I'll shoot you up. You're already talking about cheating on the show. That's perfect.
So who says cheating, bro?
You're not supposed to take any supplements.
They're all in between. Some of them are banned. Some of them are starting to get banned, like by the WADA and the other like anti-doping kind of.
But the base level peptides are for like muscle, faster recovery.
The ones that really got popular were BPC 157 and TB 500, which they call like Wolverine stack. So they're just like the repair stack. So you would just, if you had an injury or something like that, those
Yeah.
would be like your go-to for.
and it gives you the ability to train at high intensity for longer periods of time without getting fucked
other
up.
stuff maybe more so, but yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like just from like inflammatory pathways and things like that.
What happens when you stop taking them?
Those are not like anyone that's taken real hormones would say like peptides don't work like that. Just take the real thing. Granted, if you're taking the healing stuff, there's not really anything else that's going to give you what particularly those peptides will give you. But if you take growth hormone, then you heal very quickly. Like just from the hormone, you don't have to
Is
take.
growth hormone steroids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable on that stuff. There's a lot of different compounds that people would
There's
take.
like
but-
anabolics and non-anabolics.
Right. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
fucking,
Think about all that shit is like you're a fucking top level athlete. Like an average guy, I feel like that's the concern. It's like there's probably a list of things you should do before that type of shit.
Before you start taking that stuff.
Like they say that even about like supplements. It's like,
Right.
if you can't like fucking squat your own
I
body
shouldn't
weight
be
or something
taking
like that,
supplements,
don't
right.
worry about it, Like
I agree.
get to 10 push-ups, then we'll start talking about how much creatine you should have.
No, they're just some base things like your sleep, your food. I mean, I'm coming around more and more to letting science like try to tie up loose ends of things that I don't like. Taking a sleep peptide if you're not sleeping that well, because someone else might say just sleep better, just set your routine up better, and stop looking at your phone earlier and eat earlier and get yourself into bed earlier and things like that. But if I don't know if it's not working and you can induce deeper sleep and you're still only going to get 6, but you can get a better 6 hours than you would have got then.
But you're a person who has spent a lifetime optimizing and putting in base level work. Now you're at a place where you're looking to optimize and find, you know what I mean? Whereas
but so the Ozempic is the peptide that's really popular right now, and it kind of almost is in opposition to what we're saying right now, because I would tell somebody that's not really covering a lot of bases that that's still a good route to go.
You think so?
It's a good start.
It's just I think dieting is willpower for the most part. And obviously making good choices and things like that, whatever you want to classify that as. But realistically, you have to eat a little bit less. If you can suppress appetite, then you just make better decisions. You eat less, and it works. So it's a shortcut. It's like you should use it with some sort of caution and supervision, and maybe not plan to be on it forever. But I think that's why that stuff is getting really popular. You're like shortcutting.
I think what you said is the key, though, not be on it forever. What scares you about, and if you listen to like the pharmaceutical companies, they're like, you're going to take this, you're going to have to take it forever. And not only you have to take it forever, you're going to consistently have to take more of it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what are we doing here? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
But that's their take on it. And I think there's more of what you're saying.
Yeah, I think old bodybuilders have proven that they can take high levels of gear and get off and get back to life after it. And I think, granted, in today's day and age, probably after you're 50, you're probably medically supposed to be on TRT anyway.
Right.
So if you're going to say, well, I have to be on it, and it's like, well, you maybe had to be on it.
Right.
You maybe should have been on it anyway.
I listened to a podcast with a bodybuilder the other day, and he was saying that in the bodybuilding world, steroids is fine, whatever, like take it. Ozempic is kind of controversial. They think that's cheating.
A little bit,
in the bodybuilding world.
But it's to me, it's just because it works, know. And there are a couple newer renditions of Ozempic was like semaglutide, and then they came out with 2 or 3 or 4 different side sister molecules of it almost now. So you can kind of like almost pick and choose now. Get one that's a little bit less appetite suppression with a little bit more fat burning, or there's other compounds that you can kind of stack with. So I mean, anybody that's taken shit already that's saying something else is cheating is just like tunnel visioning on.
I mean, if it's a component that helps you get to the right desired result, it's not adversely affecting your health, obviously. And I think it's just a component.
I mean,
I think
agree.
everything is, I think all of these things have a lot to do with the mindset going into anything. It's like if your mindset is, I want to put a certain amount of work in to better myself, have a better thing, yeah, sure, take whatever fucking, any advantage or any resource you can find is good. If you enter into something to where like, I don't really want to think about this, I don't want to put the required, thought process and effort, and I just want to hit the Ozempic and move on and do a box of donuts because I don't want to, then anything like that, you're not going to get good results.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of person too that comes off it and gets fat again.
Yes.
Because they didn't even really care to change anything in the first place. It's like people that get their stomach shrunk and then they just enlarge it again, and a year later they're as heavy as they were.
And that's what the pharmaceutical companies are.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they're going to make zillions of
They're
dollars.
banking on people taking it for the rest of their lives because the first time they come off it, they don't have the willpower to learn from what they did.
I've seen stuff with food science now where they're trying to make food taste a certain way, so you get around Ozempic.
Yeah,
so now you're hungry. The appetite suppression doesn't work anymore.
Wait, what is that? What do you mean?
So like when food has like science involved to it, like how can we make this more palatable, and let's add salt, and let's add whatever MSG, and it'll make it more savory. And so now they're realizing that like a lot of like food is down a little bit in certain like fast foods or processed foods and things like that. Just maybe sales or maybe like like social sentiment around them. And because now like a lot of people are on weight loss drugs,
Yep.
and so now they're trying to re-engineer food to be more palatable again to get around the suppression that's happening from the weight loss drugs. So they're kind of like
That is
just
crazy.
battling back and forth.
Well, we were talking about that one time. Like, there's the economic implications of Ozempic.
Yeah.
Stretches so far. Remember, I was saying how like they're like now planes, you could fit more people on a plane.
Right. Yeah.
So like
yeah.
they're invested in that world.
Yes.
You know,
Everybody's
like,
gonna
and then
want
you
you
got the
on it.
food side of it. And it's the same thing like with the cigarettes. You know, like when cigarettes started to become bad, those companies got into fucking cheery, you know, fruity pebbles and shit like
Right.
that. You know,
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
The world's gonna be super different if we don't fucking blow it up.
No. Yeah. Bill Burr has a funny skit about the Ozempic with the people with, it's like, yeah, don't give me that vaccine, but that Ozempic thing's sticking in my fucking leg right now. It's basically the same thing. It's been tried for like a couple of months.
Yeah.
And now it's sticking in our leg.
But yeah, that'll be the next frontier, I think, is you'll just see everyone using different peptides, and they're gonna start figuring out new ones, and
It's cool.
you'll be able to do all sorts of different shit with it.
It's cool.
They got to get it to pill form.
I was just
right?
gonna say
They-
that.
They,
I was
can't
gonna say
be,
that.
they can't be just having
Yeah.
people shoot themselves.
Yeah,
up.
that's actually
Kurt's like, they can't have people just jerking off all over the
It
peptides.
looks like a cock with this guy. Man, got a lot of gay thoughts.
Nope. Not gay. Just sexual.
Fuck, marry, kill. Bezos, Zuckerberg, or Elon Musk. Which one, Jesse?
Wait, why is this is gay now?
You just keep on talking about
It's
cocks.
fucking gay.
What would you do?
Fuck, marry, kill.
What do you think?
I think
I'm
you gotta
killing
kill,
Zuckerberg.
I was going to say, you definitely got to kill Zuckerberg.
All right.
I'm marrying Bezos.
He came around on me, Zuckerberg.
I feel the same way, but in this three, I'm marrying Bezos.
You
and
fucking
I'm
Elon?
fucking Elon.
Oh, man, that's so gross. That's so gross.
Yeah, Bezos got his shit together. He's got a real tight body now.
Exactly. Bezos is reliable and stable.
Yeah, he's not in the warehouse, in
Yes.
the White House. In the warehouse, he's not in the White House. So yeah, I think you got to marry him, but
Yeah.
probably fuck Zuckerberg, I guess.
Why?
The
He's got the curly hair now?
He's younger. I mean, you could put a wig on him or something like that. I don't know. It's not a flabby dad. That's just my
Yeah,
thought.
Elon's wild. You know he's wild. He's probably into some
I
crazy
don't want
shit.
him wild if I'm fucking him. I just want him to just sit there. Don't move, Zuckerberg, you fuck.
Oh my god.
That's a good crew, though.
That was a good crew.
Pretty good crew. Wow.
That's the inauguration crew. You know?
The Masters of the Universe Club.
Oh, man.
All right.
That's it.
We did it?
Yeah, I think we accomplished it. I'll cut that last part out, Jesse.
No, I think it was good. I think it was good.
Always said you fuck Elon Musk.
No, Zuckerberg.
Everyone will need.
Whoa.
Get it right.
Dude, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate you guys. Thanks. You let me know when you're
I'll
gonna come
hit
take
you
a
up and we'll
class.
figure out how to come over there and do that.
Yeah.